So I had to sit long and hard and think about if I even wanted to bring this case up, right? Because situations like this take a seriously emotional toll on me. And just looking around that young girl and just knowing that every single person, every single adult in her life failed her does something to me on an emotional level. So I really thought about, do I even want to speak on it? But then I was like, I want to talk about it because there's other things that I really want to touch on that I talk about all the time on my page. And I think people think I'm just being extra, or I'm trying to be dramatic, I'm trying to make things seem worse than it really is. But when you see situations like this, you realize it's all connected. So let's get into it. So on the screen, you're going to see 41-year-old Jarvis Butts and then 13-year-old Na'ziyah. So a year ago, it was January of 2024, she went missing. And then after some investigation, they found text messages between her and this 41-year-old man. This 41-year-old man, well, actually he's 42 now, has been in her life since she was 4. Why has this 41-year-old man been in this 13-year-old's life since she was 4, you ask? That's because he has been with her aunt, who she has 5 children with. So he has been with her aunt, who he has 5 children with this woman. And mind you, he has 13 children. He has 13 children, and he is already a registered sex offender. Did you hear me? He is a registered sex offender. So, I'm gonna get focused. So, they found text messages basically confirming that he has been sexually assaulting this child for 2 years. For 2 years, at one point, it was in the text messages, he talks about getting her a plan B because he came inside of her and he got her a plan B. So there's right now, it's a preliminary hearing to see if he will stand trial because unfortunately they have not been able to locate her body. But based on the text messages, they believe that she's pregnant and that he got rid of her. He murdered her to get rid of the evidence. So this young lady, she's in the care of her grandmother. Her mother is nowhere in the picture. And then I came across, I guess like a podcast of her like biological father like calling in because he wasn't in the picture either because he was married, cheated on his wife. So the young lady's mom had a side baby. He wanted nothing to do with it. Then she didn't want to be a mom. I think she was also on drugs or whatever, but she gave custody to her mom. Her mom took full custody. And now her mom, so Na'ziyah is believed to be pregnant, and we believe that he killed her to cover it up. So like I said, this is a preliminary hearing, so they're trying to figure out if the evidence stands up for him to stand trial. I'm sure he's going to go to jail anyway because it was clear he was sexually assaulting this child for years. And I'm sure that it's gone on long before the text messages even came into play, before she had a cell phone where he can contact her. So he's had access to this baby since she was 4 years old. And when I say every single person in her life failed her on such a cosmic level, there's text messages of her begging the man that is assaulting her to buy her pads because she only has 3 pads and she's running out. But she lives with her grandmother and her aunt. So why are these 2 women who are responsible for her, who have children, who have coochies, not realizing or not providing the necessities for this child? Why does she not feel comfortable going to these adult women in her life that are supposed to be there to protect her? They believe she was pregnant, like pregnant, because she told him in the text messages that she missed her period a month ago. And she is asking this grown man to get her a plan B. That lets you know her poor little brain has not yet developed because she does not understand that a plan B is not going to get rid of a pregnancy. And they brought I guess her cousins that were around 9 into the courtroom. There's no videos of that, but there's like transcripts of what was said. And he would bring the 9-year-old cousins to his shop. So he owns an auto body shop with another guy that was also arrested. He's in jail now. I'm not sure what he's in jail for, but he was with that guy the day that the young girl went missing. Like I was saying, he would bring the kids to the shop and the children would see him having sex with Na'ziyah. And then he would ask the children, do they want to participate? So he was doing this at an auto body shop that he owned with another man. There's nothing anyone can say to me that would prove to me that that other man was not aware or at least partaking. Nothing. And I do mean nothing. And then there were text messages between the aunt and Jarvis where she's basically alluding to the fact that she's aware that her 13-year-old niece has something going on with her 41-year-old baby daddy, and she is making it the child's fault. And this is things like that is what enrages me. Anytime people call little girls fast or she knows what she's doing, like when men will come on this app, come on the internet and proclaim with their entire fucking chest, oh, them little girls know what they be doing. They're children. They are children. Grown men are looking at little girls and saying, these little girls know what they're doing. Oh, she seduced me. Her grandmother failed her. Her aunt, of course, failed her. And as you can see from the aunt, she wanted a man at any cost. And if that cost was her niece, that's fine. Oh, and he had a fiance. So all these adult women were willing to associate themselves with a man who was already a registered sex offender. And this is why I constantly talk about how pick-me women who are so desperate to get a man, are a danger to themselves and everyone around them, because they will sacrifice anyone just to say, I got a man. They don't care who has to pay the price just so that they could say, I have a man. And now I want to touch on why it's so important as women or as moms to, one, you need to be checking your kid's phone. You need to be in that phone. You need to be in a room. My mom used to check my phone, my diary. Listen, my mama read my diary once. I never wrote it in it again. But you know what? Also, when I was younger, I never tracked my cycle when I was younger, because when I got my cycle, I was not having sex. So at one point, my mom noticed that I did not get my period, because guess what? My mom was on my ass. But I don't notice I don't have my period because I don't know. I don't even know what this thing is for real. I don't know why it's here. I don't get it. But she paid attention because she cares about what happens to me. Also, you need to be on top. A part of being on top of your, aside from being on top of your children and knowing what's going on with your children, you need to be wary of men that use phrases like 18 is legal. Oh, men just like younger women. There's no reason anyone in their 30s, 40s should be dating someone that's early 20s. I'm sorry. It's just not appropriate. Y'all are not in the same. I think the rule of thumb they said is both parties should be able to date the age gap up or down. That's the rule of thumb, right? So if I'm 30, right, and I date someone that's, I'm 35. If I date someone that's 40, that's a 5-year age gap. So they can go 35 to 45. You know what I'm saying? They like, and I can also go 30 to 40. So if I go 5 years below, if I date the age gap between us in either direction, it's not appropriate for anybody. Okay? You should be able to comfortably date that age gap in any direction. Okay? So that is the rule of thumb. So these men who are in their 30s talk about, oh, well, she just turned 18, she's legal now. What's the difference between 18 today and 17 yesterday? Legality. Men that say those things would date a child if they could. If it was legal for them to date children, they would. If the age for consent was 12, they would be dating and marrying 12-year-olds. Don't let them fool you. That whole, oh, y'all just mad, y'all just jealous. There is no part of my 20-something-year-old self that I am jealous of. Naive. I'm not going to say my self-esteem was low, but I didn't understand my true value. And there were times I allowed people to take advantage of that. And that's what these men are looking for. Someone once said that, or not someone, they did like an interview with a predator, and they asked him, what does he look for when he's looking for a child to assault? And he said, oh, a broken home. Because if the home is broken, they're not paying attention to the child. So then so many things tie in. Women, if you do not want to have children, I beg of you, do not have children. And that's not to say at some point you can't be a good parent. Some point you cannot be a good mother. But if the desire is not in you at all, it's not going to form out of nowhere. It's better to have a longing for children, like, damn, I wish I would have, than to have them and feel like, damn, I wish I would not have. Because now there's this life in this world who, what you can throw to the side. And some people are like, oh, well, you can just give the baby up for adoption. The mother gave the baby up, and now look what happened to that baby. It's not the better option. It's clearly the grandmother didn't want to do it. God knows what she did with her parenting. Situations like this terrify me as a mom with 2 girls, because there are so many men who put on this facade as if, oh, I would never, that's nasty. You got homeboys right now that would. That would. A lot of them would. Any man that talks about younger women like in a certain type of light, oh, well, she young, and makes me feel awkward. It makes me feel awkward because I would never bring a man that looks at, in my age range. Let me say that. I would never look at a man that's in my age range that look at women being young as a bonus. Because I have little girls that will one day be young ladies. And if at 35, 40, he thinks that 18 and 20-year-olds are hot, why would I bring him into my children's world? Because there's so many men who have been married and then divorced the wife and married their stepchildren. A man that thinks that young women are attractive, not even attractive, but are attracted to younger women, I would never date. I would, no matter if he's like, oh no, you're gorgeous, but you know, young women, they're young and da da da. Because at some point, my daughters will be young women, and I cannot have you around them. Anytime if a man says that, automatic. And women need to start paying attention to these things. They need to start taking these things into account because it matters. It matters. Like, I'm tired. Like, so many of these situations can be avoided if y'all didn't put having a man above the children that you already have. Like, some women are like, oh, well, he's in our life now and he's the man of the house. And this thought process that I have, I think for a lot of people counts me out of the dating pool or whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not desire a man more than I desire my children's safety. This is their home. This is their home. And if another man never lives with me, I'm okay with that. At least they will feel comfortable here. They will feel safe here. They will know this is their space. This is their safe space. And I think a lot of times when women get married and they bring another man in, your children are uncomfortable. All right. So this case, me personally, I feel like it's pretty clear cut that they should take it to trial and then take it as far as it can go. Can we get, is it a death penalty? Like, I want that for him real bad. Really, really fucking bad.